About that. Live stream crapped out.
Motion detected in the side yard. Motion detected in the side yard.
Welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. My cam spazzed out. It does that from this location. I need to figure out a better way to stream from here. I think there might be a spot here that I can get 3 bars instead of 2. I just need to wander around a little bit. Oh. Well, we are back. We are alive again. We're gonna get the hook rebaited here. That dang bluegill keeps stealing my worm. Alright, so we're rigged back up. We're just on a little corky here. About a 16-inch leader and a little corky, the sinker. So it's a bottom rig that then floats. The little corky floats your bait up off the pond bed. Welcome those joining. How's everybody doing today? Bud, my wife, done sold the boat while I was at work. I need some advice. What do I do? She sold your boat while you were at work. Had you discussed selling the boat, or was it a complete surprise? Either way, that sucks. Kenny Ramirez says, what state are you in? We are in Montana, central Montana. It says Largent Bend Pond. It's about 10 miles west of Vaughn, Montana. Most people come here to bass fish. Largemouth bass. Sunday fun day. Yeah, it was. I looked outside today and it was such a nice day. I had to drive down to the local pond. It's about a 5-minute drive from my house. So I came to drop the line in and see if we can get some fish to bite. CTS says, no, she's been complaining about my other boat that was in the way. So you have more than one boat? So she done sold the other one without telling me. Kenny asks, is that a pond or a lake? It's a pond. It's a pretty small pond. I don't know. It's 5 acres maybe. Bait and weight. Yep. Now I got one pole set up for common carp. We got bread balls on there dipped in strawberry jello. It's one of my secret recipes. And then this pole I'm using a little corky tipped with a worm, which is just versatile. It targets the 7 or 8 other species that are in here. But CTS, that sucks, man. That she would. Whoa, that guy almost lost his pole. He got something. But you said you have more than one boat. Was it your good boat? Was it? I mean, do you need more than one boat? G Spartan says not a secret anymore. Nah, it's not really a secret. I mean, I always joke that it's my secret. I've always so I catfish a lot, and I know in a lot of the catfish recipes people use Jello powder or Kool-Aid. I don't know if it's the sugar in it, the red dye number 5. But it seems to attract fish. And normally I've been fishing with bread balls for carp for years. And it's kind of a pain in the butt because most of the bread you buy from the grocery stores or where you get, I'm getting some nibbles here. It's just so dry that when you try and mush it back into a ball, it falls off the hook. Half the time you can't even get the damn pole in the water before it falls off. So I was wandering around the grocery store one day before I was going fishing, and I was gonna get bread. And it dawned on me, like, why do I buy bread to squish it back into dough? Why don't I just get dough? So I went over to the refrigerator section and found ready-to-bake pizza dough. You know, it comes in one of them tubes, the cylinder containers that you peel it back and it explodes and scares the crap out of you. That was a good bite, and I missed it. So I got that, and walking to the cash register, I saw the Kool-Aid. I was like, oh, Jello. So I put the combination together and I went and fished. And man, I had one of the best carp fishing days I've ever had. I think I caught 12 carp in about 3 hours. They just could not get enough of it. So I've been using it ever since, and it works way better than just regular bread balls. Scotland, UK, everyone. Hey, Jeff's YouTube HQ, welcome to the stream. Hello to Scotland. You are on the other side of the planet, my friend. Kenny Ramirez, I smoked 2 cigarettes before I smoked 2 cigarettes, and then I smoked 2 more. That's pretty much me. Terrible habit. Don't condone it. Don't do this. If y'all are watching this and thinking about smoking, don't do it. It's one of the worst decisions you will ever make in your life. People say it's hard to quit. Yeah, that's an understatement. Anyways, we all have our vices. And I keep getting bites. Oh, did I get him? Nope. But I do have an empty hook. Dang it. These bait thieving little bastards. G Spartan says, I do. Yes, sir, it works. That number 5 leaves a trail like crazy, constantly on the bottom. Giant cloud of red fog emits off the bait for a while on the bottom. Ah, I missed it. I did slide my corky down, though. That's odd. It felt like it was on there. The bluegill have been pestering me. I know some people love fishing for bluegill, and I wouldn't mind. I've said it lots of times in this stream and other streams. I wouldn't mind fishing for bluegill if we actually had decent sized bluegill. Our bluegill in this pond get to be 4 inches, 5 inches, and that's it. And it's just loaded with them. I could take the camera down to the shore, and I should here in a little bit. I just hate touching it because it always spazzes out. There's just clouds of them. I used to chum the water when I would carp fish here. You know, take up a couple of pieces of bread and crumple it up and throw it out there. And I had to stop doing it because it just brought in every damn bluegill in the pond. And I couldn't catch any carp because the bluegill were eating all my bait. There's a little bass that jumped. Oh, here comes the wind again. G Spartan says, subbed and liked. I'm going fishing myself. Good luck, brother. Appreciate it, G Spartan. Thank you for joining. Always happy to have folks hop in and chat, hang out. And I'm always down for a collab. I'd love to find some people around the area to fish with. Or to, you know, do live stream with. But thanks for stopping in. Appreciate the subscription. Stop back in anytime, man. If you toss a comment my way, I will read it, and I'll also follow you back as well. It's hard for me to keep track and remember names of people. We get so many people in here over time. But yeah, if you leave me a comment on one of my videos, I'll hop through and subscribe to your channel as well. Southern Horseman said hi. Welcome to the stream, Southern Horseman. How you doing? We're getting harassed by the bluegill. Oh God, this little kid's carrying a stringer. He's got probably 15 little itty bitty bluegills they're taking home. I don't know why people do that. You couldn't get but a bite of meat off of each one of them. Oh, there's a nibble. Cubby Drew says, what's up, fisherman? Hey Cubby, welcome to the live. Oh, we're just killing some time, enjoying our Sunday afternoon here. We have one pole in the water targeting carp over there with the bell on it, and then I've just got a worm set up on a little corky on the line that I'm holding in my hand here. We've got a couple of little bluegill. I'm trying to see if I can catch one of the bass in here, or maybe a white sucker, or possibly even a trout. That's what this rig is. Normally I use it for is a trout rig, and there's supposedly rainbow and brookie in this pond. And in 3 years of fishing this pond, I've never caught one. I've never seen one. Anybody catch one? But Fish, Wildlife, and Park swears that they stock it every year. Did you catch any? Yeah, we've caught a couple of little bluegill, just itty bitty little things. They are relentless. We're chilling and loving life. Glad to hear that, Southern Horseman. I am currently chilling and loving life as well. Oh, I'll grab my bait and just let up off the bottom. Now, we've just been hammered all morning since I got here, or all afternoon, I should say, with bluegill. They're just pests in this pond. Seen a couple of people pull out some little, yeah, it's just a catch and release pond. Though I have the bigger bass that I've seen people pull out of here, most people, if they catch anything over 2-3 pounds, they don't throw it back, which irritates the hell out of me. There's so few of them in here that are that big, and they want to take them out and bring home and eat it, which is thoroughly disgusts me, because honestly, while the pond water here looks clean, right, you can't see it, it's off camera this way, on the other side of this pond is a sewage lagoon. And you can't tell me that sewage lagoon ain't leaching into the water here. So it's just fun place to fish, but I would never eat anything that came out of here. In fact, I don't. The only place that I normally will keep fish from to eat, unless it is, I try and catch and release like 99% of the time. But if I get one that just is not gonna release, and I'm not gonna throw it out there to float away and die. So I will keep those, and I'll eat them. Not from here though. I would let it float and die here. But normally, the fish that I like to keep and eat are out of the cleaner, mountain lakes and streams. This right here, I mean, we're in a fairly rural area, but there's runoff from farmers, pesticides, fertilizers, and the fact that it's literally, 100 foot from a sewage lagoon on the side there. No, I ain't eating nothing out of here. People do though. They catch anything decent out of here, they take it home. I'm surprised the guy that just left from the dock. He had something good on the line. He'd been he'd been here since I got here, and he was catching just a bunch of little dinks. But he set his pole down and was doing something, and something bit onto the end of it and about yanked his pole off the dock. He went lunging for it. Grumpy Bass says, "Good afternoon. Welcome to the live, Grumpy Bass. How you doing today?" Somebody on a boat. Yeah, there's a guy and I think his son floating in a canoe, a couple of canoes over here, and then there's a couple of people in canoes over on the other side. That's the way to do it from here. This pond that I'm fishing is, right by the parking area, and it gets the bulk of the fishing pressure. Um, there are some people that'll, wander around the pond. On the other side, it's full of cattails and thistles. So it's kind of uncomfortable to walk through and fish from. So that whole other side of the pond gets very little fishing pressure. And then you can kind of see there's an island out in front of me here. And then there's a patch of water. And then there's another island. And then the other bank on the other side. So if I had a canoe, I'd be fishing the patch of water between the two islands because you can't get to it from either side of the shore. And I've heard rumor that that's where the brook trout hang out at. Remy says, "Are you getting GTA? Welcome to the live, Remy." I unfortunately don't game much anymore. I used to. I was more into RPG games though, and a little bit of first-person shooter. Like I loved Call of Duty. I always was terrible at it, but I could play that for. You'd have to remind me to sleep and eat and drink. I love that game. But no, my favorite was MMORPGs. I liked online RPG games. I played, which is going to tell you my age here. I played EverQuest for about a decade. Still, hands down, I think it's one of the best games ever made. And a lot of y'all probably have never even heard of it. But I played Guild Wars, Diablo 2. I never really got into the driving games, GTA. I mean, back in the day, way back in the day, NES, Super NES, I used to do like Mario Kart, but no GTA. You're able to fish on GTA 6. No shit. Yeah, there was in EverQuest you could fish. You had to fish to get crafting supplies. I think I must have lost my worm here. I'm not getting any bites, any nibbles. Played Madden a lot. Yeah, I never really got into sports games either. I guess I did. I played, Tony Hawk games for a while. I did play the basketball games for a while as well. I don't know, not really my thing. And as I get older, and especially after I got more into fishing, most of my free time, if I'm not spending it working on my house or one of my rentals, I'm fishing. Ugh. It is one of my favorite things to do.
Did you look down at the stringer or something?
Got these two out there just having a blast. Guy's just towing his son around on his canoe. It's cute. They're doing pretty good though. I've seen them catch 2 or 3 little bass. Better than I'm doing. I've just got a couple of bluegill. Waiting on the carp pole to hit here. That's what I mainly fish here for. I've been trying to set a new pond record for carp. My biggest out of this pond is, I think, 8 pounds, 8 ounces. And there's a couple of posts on Fish Brain. Somebody said there's a picture of one that he said was 13 pounds and another one that's posted that's like 10.5 pounds. And both of them look smaller than my 8 pound, 8 ounce one. I wish people would actually buy a scale and a tape measure if they're going to start posting metrics on fish. Drives me nuts. Like, my fish is fatter and longer than yours, but yours weighs 5 pounds more than mine? That's curious. Cubby Drew says, or do you like hitting golf balls at a golf field? I will tell you, the only experience I've ever had with golf balls, when I was a teenager, one of my buddies lived a couple of blocks from a golf course, and we would sneak out at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd climb out his bedroom window and go to the driving range at the golf course and each fill a backpack full of golf balls. And then we went down to Starvation Army, or that's what I call it, Salvation Army, the thrift store, and we'd buy like $2, $3 drivers. We'd go out to the river and we'd hit balls. That's as far as I ever got with golf. I'll watch it every once in a while. It's one of the most boring sports I've ever seen to watch. I don't know. It looks like it could be possibly fun to play, but I never got into it. I was always more into shooting pool. That was my sport. Bidron Jackie says YNK. I have no idea, Bidron, what that means, but hello and welcome to the live. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. I definitely am. Not catching anything good so far, but I'm loving life right now. Where's everybody from? Where are you from, Cubby? Where are you from, Remy? Where are you from, Bidron? It's an interesting name. I feel like you're not from America. Grab my soda. Oh. Time for ice cold beer. Yeah, that does sound nice right about now. I'm drinking a lukewarm Mountain Dew, and it is not hitting the spot.
Motion detected in the side yard.
Now, what sounds good to me right now is it's called a chelada. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it, but it's essentially a beer mixed with clamato juice. It's really popular here in Montana. Apparently in Mexico too. Pretty much anywhere else you go in the U.S., they have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I found, which just seems odd to me. And it sounds gross. I get it. It's delicious though. Like I'm not a big fan of the taste of alcohol, especially beer. Beer is not great usually. And you throw a couple of shots of, you take a couple of swigs off your beer and then grab the clamato juice and throw a couple of glugs in there. Not a whole lot, enough to turn the beer, red, pink. And it masks almost entirely the taste of the beer. Gives you a little bit of saltiness to it, a little bit of tomato juice. Delicious. Chicago, okay. Been through Chicago a few times. When I was younger, I used to travel all over the U.S. on a Greyhound bus. And I went through Chicago numerous times. Ooh. Oh, that's a cool looking dragonfly. Can y'all see that on my pole? It just landed on my pole. Let's see if I can get him close. Oh, no, he left. Oh, that's a sweet looking dragonfly. Normally we get the blue ones and the green ones. I've never seen one like that. It was like white and black.
Motion detected in the side yard.
Dano, welcome. How you doing, man? Cubby way ahead of you. Well, shit, y'all. I'm way behind then. I gotta drive, though. And, yep. I stole the damn worm again. You frickin' bluegill. They're driving me crazy. It disconnected, now it's reconnected. Can you all still hear me and see me? Or is it looping? Alright, I think my live's paused again. Can somebody tell me if you can still hear me and see me? Can somebody drop a comment in chat there and let me know if you can still hear and see me? My live just disconnected and reconnected, and often when it does that, it breaks it and gets stuck in a loop. Sup, it's all good. Thank you, William. Appreciate that. I wasn't sure. I've been having issues with the live stream. It disconnects and then it reconnects and then it like gets stuck in a loop of me saying the same thing over and over again, and the only way that I can usually tell is my views will drop to 0. Frustrating. But welcome to the live, William. How you doing today? I'd welcome those joining. It's got a whole bunch of people joined, it looks like. We're having a good day out here. Not a whole lot of fish, but enjoying my Sunday afternoon. We are located in central Montana. This is a pond called Largent Bend. It's a bass pond. Most people come here to fish for largemouth bass. I usually come here to fish for carp, sucker, and I have been trying for 2 years now to pull a trout out of here. I don't know why. I'm not big into trout fishing, and there's a billion other places I could catch trout around here. I just want to catch one out of this pond because Fish, Wildlife, and Park swears up and down they stock this pond with rainbow and brook trout, and I'm just on a mission to catch every species out of this pond. And that is one of the only species that's supposedly in here that I've never caught. So we're trying. But yeah, we have carp pole over there set up with bread balls dipped in strawberry jello, which if you've never tried it for carp, do it. It's one of the best carp baits I have ever found. And on this pole, I'm running a little corky and just tipped with a worm. Which again, it's just kind of a multi-species setup. We might catch perch, bluegill, bullheads. We might catch the trout. There's goldeye in here. There's shiners in here. But normally I fish one pole with bread balls and one pole with worms. And if the worms don't start pulling in something other than bluegill here, I might switch over and throw a spinnerbait or do they going to catch some sunburn? God damn it. Missed another one. Frickin' bluegill. Yeah, normally I wear long sleeve when I'm out fishing. I've been fishing a lot the last week and I have not yet done laundry, and I pulled out the long sleeve that I wore on my fishing trip. What was it, Saturday? And it was pretty rank. I wasn't gonna put it back on again, so I'm out here. I'm gonna turn from Casper into a lobster here fairly quickly. Rich Blamer said hi. Welcome to the live, Rich Blamer. How you doing today? Now it's toasty out. I was wearing a light jacket when I got here, but it's too warm for that. We're in like low to mid 90s right now. Sun's blaring down. I'll take a sunburn. I'm not gonna die of heat stroke out here. I do have sunscreen in my truck. I'm just too lazy to go put it on. I could use some sun though. I got a farmer tan going on right now. Yeah, my face is like, normally I'm pasty white. I'm very, very pale skinned, but I've been fishing a bunch this year, so I got really dark face. My hands are super dark. Like, look at the difference between my arm and my hand. You can tell I've been wearing long sleeves. Like, I'm 9 shades darker on my hand than I am on my arm, and if I lower my glasses, I got the coon eyes there. That sun is something else, man. I need to get in a better habit of using sunscreen. The sun's so bad for your skin. And I think they stole my worm again. Yes, yes they did. Alright, let's put a new worm on here. No, I honestly should, and I think I'm going to do one more cast with this little corky rig. And if we don't catch something besides, I'm going to switch over and throw a bobber for a little bit. We'll switch from fishing from 16 inches off the bottom to switch to 16 inches off the top. So we'll vary our strategy slightly. But that's what we're fishing with right now. It's normally a lot of trout fishermen, when they're drifting the rivers, will use a setup like this. It's basically a bottom rig. You got a sinker snapped onto your clip between your main line and your leader, and then I got about a 18 inch leader tipped with a worm, and then this is called a little corky. It's just like a foam ball or a cork ball that acts as an attractant, and then instead of your bait laying on the bottom, it floats up off the bottom by however long your leader is. So we're targeting a couple of different species. Papa Meatball, and welcome to the live, by the way. Cheers. All stay lifted. Hell yeah. So on this pole over here, we have bread balls. It's a high-low rig, so we have 2 hooks set up. Bread ball dipped in strawberry jello, and then we're fishing the little corky rig here. It's a drift rig. But what we're targeting on this one is multiple species. There's so many different things in here, but mainly after white sucker, largemouth bass, rainbow trout, or brook trout, which this rig would, any of them may bite off of it. But we also have a lot of bluegill in here, which is what's been biting. We have a lot of yellow perch in here that they've also been biting. I'm getting bite right now. It doesn't take long. It hits the water, and with a worm on, there's so many different things in here that eat worms that your worm only usually, you either catch a fish or you lose your worm within a couple of minutes. But they're just itty bitty little bites here. And I think it's the damn bluegill, because I'm using a size 1 hook, which is way oversized for a bluegill and the tiny perch that are in here. But I've still caught a few of them. Trying to put a hook big enough on that I won't get bluegill, but not so big that I don't catch the bass or the trout, or the other stuff that I'm targeting. William says, when it's hot, aren't they in the shades? Yeah, oftentimes they will. The water temperature here it's got to be probably mid-70s. This pond is pretty shallow. It's very warm, but if you look around, there's one little patch of shade over underneath the tree across there that's about 2 foot wide. And then over in the corner here, kind of the same thing. It's about there's no shade here. later in the day when the sun's still pretty high in the sky right now. It's only 2 p.m., so we're still pretty much sun overhead. There's almost nothing to cast a shadow when the sun is at this angle. Once the sun starts to go down, there will be some shade cast in a couple of spots here, but for the most part there's really no shade trees in this pond. And I'm pretty sure whatever was just biting stole my damn worm. Like I said, within 2 to 3 minutes you either got a fish on or your worm's gone. Yep. No worm. So I'm just getting it baited back up here. Oh, this container of worms is almost gone. Alright, let's try this again. See if I can actually catch something this time. I feel like I'm just feeding the fish at this point. We're just giving them snacks. Oh, 14 likes already. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the thumbs up. It really helps YouTube drive more people into the channel. So thank you. I appreciate that. As does the chat activity. The more people that talk in here, YouTube starts sending more traffic this way. So thank you for those joining and chatting and liking and subscribing and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'm getting nibbles again already.